Now today I'm featuring one amazing, super incredible, beautiful, powerful lady by the name Liz Marami. But before we even talk to Liz, did you know that women in the maritime industry account for only 1 or 2% of the world's 1.25 million seafarers, according to International Labour Organization? And Liz Marami is one of them. Hey Liz.
Hi. Wow, that was a grand introduction. I'm just Liz, people. That's enough for me. Yeah. My name is just Liz.
Drop smile.
Ordinary Kenyan.
Ordinary Kenyan.
Yes.
But trendsetter.
Trying to make the world a better place. That's all. Yeah.
But that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Make the world a better place. Have you been?
I've been well?
Yes. You know, when I reached out, I thought you'd snob me.
Hi. Hi, what do people think of me?
I've been reaching
Maybe
out to
she's celeb, by the way. Please.
I've been reaching out to, not celeb, let me say influential people. I've been reaching out to some influential people.
And nimefika influential. Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
You are very influential. So thank you so much for coming to Wilkins Diary Podcast.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
So this is a place whereby I talk to people. You know, it's like my diary. So in my diary, what happens in my diary, I meet people and I get to know them and I get inspiration and also tell them my story, and they tell me their story, and now in that diary I share it to the world through this podcast.
Wow.
Like you get that concept of Wilkins Diary podcast.
Yes.
So I don't want to ask you a cliche question on how did you start. Or how it all started.
Oh God.
Let me just ignore that I don't know who a marine pilot is.
Yes.
So explain to me, like I'm a 4-year-old boy, who's a marine, who's a sailor?
Those are two different things. But a marine pilot is someone who will navigate the ship, in layman's term, drive the ship into the port harbor safely, because they're the ones who understand the dangerous paths that should not be taken, where there are the shallow waters. So they are tasked with the job to ensure safe navigation of the ship until it reaches the berth for the cargo operations to begin. Now, to become a marine pilot, you have to have been a seafarer, or rather a deck officer, and have worked a considerable amount of time at sea to come back. So to be the highest rank.
Roughly how long? How?
If all goes well, it's supposed to take 10 years per se, including the education, the first part of the education, then 5 years on and off at sea for you to rise in rank. But some have opted to be a different class of pilots. So they would maybe do 2 years of sea time, and then they would go back and do pilotage.
Nice. So how's your how's your normal day like?
So
let's say from the time you open up your eyes, how's your normal day like?
So before, I think it's important for people to understand why I am where I am now versus where I used to be. So before, I was at the port as a marine pilot, a trainee marine pilot, a second pilot. And I was not content on being there, so I wanted to rise up in ranks. But the only way to do that was to go back to sea. And so I went back to sea this year. It was not an easy journey trying to go back to sea. I went back to sea this year. And last year, so in 2019, right?
2019.
Wow, I went last year.
We only have 6 months to go. 7 months, baby.
What have I been doing with my life? So I went back to sea last year, and I've been there now trying to rise up the ranks. Using the seagoing experience I'm gaining, and now once I'm at the highest rank, I can come back as a senior pilot and not a second pilot.
Oh, nice. Aiming for the skies.
Yes, you see, when you pioneer, you just have to. You have no falling ground. You just have to be the best. Yeah.
So, before you decided to get into marine and all that stuff,
yes.
yeah, you were given an opportunity to study law.
Yes.
But again, you decided to take a challenging career.
Yes.
Like what really? I know there's that inspiration behind. You know what? I feel like I should take something that challenges me.
Yeah.
But what is the key inspiration in terms of, you know what? Let me not go for law, but let me go for something that is out of the norm. Yeah.
And I always say, I like to say this without sounding like I'm insulting other jobs, but I always knew from the time I was younger that I wanted to do something just completely different, something that's not cliche. That's why I said I don't want to sound like I'm insulting other jobs. And for me, when law came, I was really excited because I'm someone who has really loved literature, advocating for people. So I was excited about it, but my heart was still not settled. And then when this came, and it was so different, I'd never heard of it, I was like, now this is the challenge I am going for. And aware of what it was going to bring forth, I deferred my law degree to go and test the waters, and I just never looked back.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's that feeling that you are arguably, or not even arguably, you are Kenya's first female marine pilot, sailor? Okay, yeah. Pilot. How's that experience? How's that feeling? Do you feel pressure? Like
the pressure is there.
Yeah.
The pressure is there, but the pressure is not there because I am Kenya's first. I really never look at it that way. Kenya's first female. In fact, most of the time I would rarely have it come up among conversations. But the pressure is that I need to make sure I have left the space a better place for other women who will come after me. Because when you pioneer, your priorities shift. It's no longer about you.
It's not about you.
You become purpose-driven.
It's like you make way for
Yes. So ideally, it's more than feeling it as pressure. I look at it as a driving force. That makes me want to be a better person by the day and to just jump every hurdle that comes my way.
Really?
Yes.
That's amazing. That's so dope. So you have, the sea, or rather the industry you're in is preoccupied with men. But that I read somewhere is that you working with them has sort of like impacted your life in some way that is so positive, which in most industries they always say, like, you know what, it's kind of like hectic working with men. Like, how different is that experience?
I think for me, I have been fortunate enough to be surrounded by some of the most amazing men in my life. And I'm not saying that everyone is 101% perfect. Those who may be flawed, I'm also a flawed human being. I have always found a way to learn from them. They have protected me, they have taught me, they have understood me, and they have really helped me grow to become who I am. And I don't take it for granted, not one bit. Of course, I've had my fair share of meeting those that are not so good, but a drop in the ocean. If you focus so much on the negative, you'll never see the positive side of it. And I must say that 99% of them have really been absolutely supportive.
So amazing.
Yes.
Oh, nice to know that we have good men out there.
They are good.
We are there.
They are good men.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have been surrounded by good ones. Yeah.
Would you want your daughter to get into the same industry?
I think I would want my daughter to choose what she wants. I would never push her to do something. I never push her to do something. If she chooses to do sciences, if she chooses to be in arts, if she chooses, I think I simply just want my daughter to be happy.
And how's your family like in terms of support?
My family
dad, your mom?
My parents are very diverse parents in terms of our family is very diverse.
When you defied law to get into
my mom got into the bus with me. We are going to defy this law. That's what you've decided. Sawa, tunaenda. So my parents are the most supportive human beings I've had. My family is so supportive. Sometimes I would look at them and they probably don't even understand some of the problems I tell them, but they just tell me, hang in there, it's what you love, you know, keep going. So for me, my family is just...
They don't get scared.
No, not at all, not at all. I can say we're a very diverse family. All our siblings have done different things, different from what my parents do, and nobody has ever felt the need to try and be somebody else, or to try and fit in, or to try and do more than they can do. We have just learned to be so connected in a way that we try and inspire each other and try to encourage each other and tell each other sometimes it's okay if you're tired and you feel like you're done, you know. So to know that you have that fallback in its own is just amazing.
So last week we lost Bob Collymore, the CEO of Safaricom.
Emotional.
Did you get to have any experience with him?
Yes, I did.
How was that?
Bob was an amazing human being. I've carried so many lessons from the late Bob Collymore, and I just one thing I have learned that I think I would like to carry forward, and I would always remember is that Bob never tried to be somebody else, and that has been my goal for the longest time. In whatever I do, I just remain true to myself and purpose driven towards what it is that I feel is good, and I do not have to be big to change the world. It's that little thing. A
person's a person.
Yes, no matter how small, and it's the little thing that you choose to, just a little thing can make a big difference. So those are some of the things I picked up from Bob.
You know, it's amazing because Bob was in the country for, was it 9 years or 10 years?
10 years.
10 years.
Yes.
But the impact that was felt just after his death was just amazing. And for me, I think one thing that really inspired me with like leave alone the life itself. Yes, the life itself of Bob Collymore was very inspiring, but just this one that pops out, the boys club. And how do you have friends like, and I feel that that's something that we need to like talk about, especially millennials. Like, do we have friends whom we can talk to? Do we have like a support system? Like Bob, the boys club was just was constructed of Bob, Jeff, Joshua, and some other guys. Like for you personally, do you have friends that you feel like the support system?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have my friends, my tribe, and I like to call them my safe space.
Yeah.
Because these are friends who have loved me regardless of my flaws. Who are there if I get a lot of anxiety attacks sometimes, so who would literally pick up my call in the morning and I'm crying and I don't know if I'm good enough for the society, and they will always be there for me, who will pick up some have picked up a project I'm doing without asking for anything, and this is my safe space, and so true to me. Like, it's just I'm honored to be loved by those human beings. So yes, I do have friends who have surrounded me, plus my family.
Let's talk about that project, Against the Tide.
So Against the Tide started as an idea in the year 2015 when I was really struggling with going back to sea. My doors were being shut out for me because I was female, and I was trying to understand why is it so, because my gender should not be a qualification. And then I decided to reach out to other women at sea to find out what it is they do, and then if they have one thing they wish that the International Maritime Organization would change to ensure we have gender equality, what would it be? And the response was overwhelming when I started. So in 2017 I started.
2017,
so 2016 was just to write to them and everything, and then 2017 I started doing the postings, and I was amazed by the stories I read because we were.
So it's more conversational based.
Yeah, it was just conversational based, and conversations heal, conversations inspire, conversations change the world, because people cannot change what they don't know. So when these voices were out there and saying what they were going through, we were heard, because this year the World Maritime Day became focused on empowering women. So the whole year has been all around women at sea. Last month, I think in July now, last month, the Day of the Seafarer was declared to going out and getting people on board with gender equality for women who work at sea. So, and to have been picked as a champion of it was mind-blowing. I didn't think, because there were two, one from the US, one Canadian, and then me. I mean, just Liz from Kenya.
LIZ WAKESHO.
But, you know, but to be able to stand out there and amplify the voices of these women who trusted me and wrote to me, and I was able to share their stories, was amazing. So what Against the Tide has done now, in the beginning the objections were to be heard. We have been heard. This is our year, and what I try and tell people is that we have a timeline as women, if we're not aware of it, but we have a timeline now that we're having these charades of gender equality, we have conferences. What will we do now that will impact sustainably, such that when the curtains fall on this entire conversation, that will keep on going, will enable the gender equality to continue, the conversation to go on, and the impact to go on.
How important is it? Sorry to cut you. How important is it for men to be part of this kind of conversations revolving around women empowerment?
What I learned, for example, over the years, for me, when I was on the ship, one time I didn't have access to sanitary towels. And I didn't have access to disposal of the sanitary towels, so I had to go out and I had to buy, and then when I came back, it was just so shady that I have to hide that I'm going to throw my used sanitary towels, and then I don't know which category to place the rubbish in because of marine pollution annexes and stuff. So then I talked to one guy, and he told me, "Oh my God, Liz, I feel so sad because I did not know that this is what you go through. It's not something that crossed my mind." So sometimes we blame these men, but sometimes they just don't know.
And that's why conversations are very important.
That's why I said these conversations are important for the men also to understand that this is where we come from, and you may not know. We are just not trying to call for a pity party, but these are just general basic needs we are asking for. Yes.
Wow. I don't know if you always got a chukua hiyo. Pabiliang.
Hey.
No, amazing. So do you have like one woman that you look up to that inspires you?
In the country?
When it comes and outside the country.
When it comes to, because I have you know, I was reading someone's Instagram, and he said that women are wired in a way that we have friends for every solution, problem that we have. So I kind of have mentors who have inspired me in different
ways.
For example, I look up, when it comes to the maritime sector, I look up to the Principal Secretary of Maritime and Shipping, Mrs. Nancy Karigidhu, who is a certified maritime lawyer. Mrs. Nancy Karigidhu, who sits in the...
She's Kenyan?
She's very Kenyan.
Oh, nice.
Who is the Principal Secretary of Maritime and Shipping. She's a maritime lawyer by profession. She sits in the international boards of...
What's one quality that she has that really inspires you so much?
That we do not get where we are as women by being timid. She's a fighter, she's a go-getter. She wants it, she gets it.
Nancy who?
Karigidhu.
Nancy Karigidhu, big up.
Yes. So when it comes to the maritime sector, that's my biggest inspiration on the ground in the country. When it comes to internationally, the maritime sector, I would give it to Captain Kate McHugh. That woman is just amazing. I've read her story. I have been inspired. We have never met, but we are friends on Instagram through the networks of Against the Tide. How she rose up in ranks. She said it took her 19 years to become a captain, to be given command of a ship. She's the first female. She's the first female American captain to command a cruise vessel. So that is, and she makes it so much fun. Like, you should go to her Instagram, you will be in awe, you know? So, and breaking it and making it look like it's normal. It's not something out of the ordinary.
Like, wow, okay, she did that.
Yes. And someone I look someone I look up to when it comes to especially my projects against the tides and fighting for Kenyan seafarers is Wangari Maathai. The late Wangari Maathai is a great inspiration in my life. I look up to her. I feel like I draw my inspiration from her. Every time I feel like I need to give up, I remember how hard she fought for what she believed in, and so that's what I try and fight for.
So you not once, but a couple of times, you've met the President Uhuru Kenyatta. Yesterday, did you wash your hands?
Yes.
So how was that feeling, like meeting the president? And especially yesterday, you gave a keynote, gave a speech.
Imagine! I don't take such things for granted. It was an honor.
How is he funny?
In person? He's extremely funny. He's a funny person. And I don't take it for granted, and I am humbled that I've been given such opportunities. But I'm also very grateful, because meeting the president has always been meeting the president, because he has had us, and he has been fixing our problems by the day. It came when I complained about sea time last year. We had a batch going to sea. When we complained about Maritime Academy and that people are going to school and they do not have placements and that we do not have ships. He had.
And he has been choosing women to be.
Yes, I mean, you know, So yesterday they launched the Bandari Maritime Academy. They signed the agreement between Mediterranean Shipping Company and Kenya National Shipping Line and Utalii College, whereby now people can work from college, can go from college directly to the shipping company and have jobs. We will in the future have our own ships flying our own flag. So for me, it's an honor to meet. It's not only an honor to meet the president, but it's an honor to meet him at that point where he's creating and he's listening to us.
Back to the president. Back to the president. Of course, this is his last time. What is one thing? What is top 3 things that you feel he's really done so amazingly in a way that you think that should be attached to the kind of legacy he wants to leave behind?
I think for me right now, I always try to speak of what I know. It's very important to address what you know. And what I know right now is exactly what he has done for the maritime sector.
For the maritime sector.
For me, when I joined the maritime sector, I thought to myself, wow, my life has changed. But how about the Kenyans? The Kenyans need a piece of this cake that I'm enjoying.
Yeah.
And for him to open that for the Kenyans to hear their cry, I think that, for me, is my own personal legacy.
You can attach
he
to
has,
it.
yes. I cannot speak for the others for now, but that for me is just the most amazing thing. I feel he has left behind a legacy when it comes to that.
Have you ever freaked out when you're out there in the scene?
No.
You never?
I love what I do. I love what I do.
What is one experience you had at your line of work and you felt so proud of yourself? Like when you're just like on duty and you're like, wow, did I just do that?
I think for me, I have little moments. Before I never used to pick up these little moments, but I'm slowly learning to pat myself in the back because it revitalize. Is that the word? Oh, I don't know.
we need to be honest.
You know,
be self-inspired.
So my passion and my drive. So for me, the best thing that actually happened to me was this year in May, after 2 months of sailing, when I was recommended for promotion by the captain. And I was like, wow, Liz, you've done this. You know? You have really done this. You've come a long way of fighting to get this promotion, and it's here. Regardless of gender, regardless, someone has actually seen your work. So for me, that was a really emotional step for me, and I was proud of myself.
Are you the first one?
No.
You're not the first one?
No, I'm not the first
one. You sound like a first one.
You should hear a first one. Hey! my siblings laugh every time we have these family meetings. We say, hey, say Liz katakuja nyoke tu kama sisi. Liz anasema say Liz atakuja tu anyoke kama sisi hapa firstborn. She keeps us in line. But in our family it's like that. Even my dad, like my growing up, very normal, very African. Is what I can say. Very African. You have to go to school. You know, very strict parents. You cannot live beyond your means. You have to have your basic needs. Jump how high? You know.
Crazy. That's amazing. You know, in so many family setups, we all can't be so strict. There has to be someone who sort of like comes down there. You know that. That's how it is. It's like if you're going language, it's not easy. My dad the other day, people were telling me. Tell your family to come attend this presidential function. We have the cards. And I'm like, hey, but I'll try. So I go home and I'm like, we have this presidential function. My dad said, I have 4 other kids. And that was the end of the conversation. End of the conversation. Yes, as in, I know, we have 4. There's no marine pilot. No. I am Liz. My older sister is Edgar, there is Sophie, and there is Claude, and we're just regular. The last one is a boy, Claude, and we just know that we're just ordinary Kenyans, and we just live and abide by the values that our parents have instilled in us. What's the best advice you advise your 15-year-old self? I think I would advise her not to panic about life, just to remain true to herself. It never turns out as you planned, and it's okay. It is okay. Some Aristotle vibes. Wait. You got some Aristotle vibes, huh? That's amazing. Repeat again. No. I know it very, like, what I would tell my 15-year-old self, that it never turns out as you have planned, and it's okay. It's really okay. Just remain true to yourself. Take one step at a time. Just remain true. Just remain true to yourself. Don't try to bend or do whatever to try to fit in or just remain true to what you believe in. It will definitely not turn out as you plan, but it will work out. That's so dope. All right, so let's get to your personal life. Woohoo!
It's a new one.
You know those headlines of 5 things you didn't know about
Liz.
Liz. But then, can we play that?
No.
Number 1 will surprise you. What's one thing that can surprise people?
Nothing. It's nothing. I have nothing.
So you have a baby girl.
Me, I don't have a baby girl.
You have a baby what?
I don't have a child.
You don't have a child. See, I was trying to like get that out of you.
I know. I don't have a child. I don't have a child.
See, I was trying to get that out of you. You have a baby girl. You know, what is one thing that people don't know about you? That is not out there. That you think is not out there. It doesn't have to be part. Okay. What's your kind of music?
Wow, I'm an old soul.
You're an old soul.
I'm an old soul.
Can you sing?
I can't sing to save my own life.
Can you sing? I assume right now you need to save your life.
Kill me.
So old soul? Luther Vandross?
Yes.
Melissa Blade?
Yes, I will karaoke to
Cardi B? What do you think about Cardi B as an artist?
Cardi B is funny. It gives me life. The other day she sang until she threw her wig out, and then I DM, and then she was like, please DM me, I just got caught up, return my wig.
Really?
So yeah, I'm not judgmental towards her music. I'm really not someone who will just say, this one is not good, this one is not bad. No.
Any Kenyan artists that you listen to? Do you know Ethic?
That drama that was going on Twitter.
Yeah, do you know Ethic Entertainment, the music?
Yeah.
What do you think about the music?
Hey, no comment. Not in a bad way,
That's
but
no comment.
No comment.
Yeah.
It's okay. As in, I would listen to anything I would relate to. Like, I'm more of
That's a nice thing. That's a nice thing.
Yeah, listen to anything.
It's not about. Because what I always tell people, because I know this is a kind of conversation most people have been having on social media about how if you should listen to street music, because that's basically street music, or if you should listen to it or shouldn't listen to it because of the language. But what I always tell people is that, like, just let them be. Like, one day it's gonna shape itself out. You know, you never know. It's a strategy. Maybe one day it's
I just allow people to be. I just let people be.
What do you do mostly on your free time if you're not on the sea?
Yeah, what do I do during my free time?
Yeah.
I watch Netflix.
Netflix.
Yes,
What
I read.
What kind of movies?
I love horror movies. And not just any kind of horror, like really deep, dark horror movies. But wow.
You love horror?
Yes.
I can't watch horror movies.
I love horror movies.
I'd watch horror movies. If I find someone watching horror movies, I'd watch.
Because as an exorcism. Tell me your name.
Zilla's gonna use a soundtrack. For real?
My siblings always tell me I'm crazy.
Which is your best? So
Annabelle.
Annabelle.
The entire series of Annabelle, because they're so intertwined, and I love it.
Hey man, me I can't watch horror movie. I'd only watch horror movie if I find someone watching it. Then
watch it.
But still, actually, I've made the decision. Okay, I'm watching horror movies.
Horror movies, I love horror movies.
I always make. What's the best book you've ever read that you? Okay.
Americana by Chimamanda.
Americana by Chimamanda.
Oh yes. That's my favorite book.
Why do you?
I just love it. It's so well written. It's funny.
Why would you suggest Americana to someone?
Because I loved it. It's funny. The story is interesting. It's been well written. I was relating to it. It's just.
So I love people who love Chimamanda. I love Chimamanda as well. Yeah. So people who love Chimamanda, I always ask them this question: Are you a feminist? And what do you think? What's your thought on feminism?
Because she's a feminist, or yeah. I believe I don't know. Everyone has a different definition of who a feminist is, you know.
What's it?
For me, I would, if championing for the rights of women and making sure that it's a better space for them, where there's less prejudice towards the woman and everything. That for me is.
Do you think it's something that
feminism.
men shouldn't be worried of?
Feminism. That's what I'm saying. It depends with your definition of feminism. Because for me, I think feminism is good.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, but there are also people who would choose to make feminism look bad, and toxic.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you once again.
Why?
No, it's because I love having that conversation on feminism, because for me, I embrace feminism because it's based on what you think what feminism is.
Yes, it is based on what.
But again, there's some people who make it look like something that men shouldn't embrace.
No, I think we should all be feminists. I just quoted her book again. Her book, we should all be feminists, but we should all be feminists. I mean, because what you're fighting for is basic human rights for the woman. Equal pay for the woman. Better sanitation for the women, equal employment opportunities for the women. It's basic human rights,
Do you have any regrets?
In my life?
Yeah, in your life?
I've chosen not to. This year I've learned to forgive myself. And the first step about not having regrets is by forgiving yourself. So slowly I'm erasing them as regrets and looking at them as life lessons. Like, oh, okay, I made that mistake. Okay, I'm moving forward.
Okay, that's the best way to look at it. All right. Quick questions. Only 4, then we'll be done. Kaput. See, this is what. This is the Kwazile Mote.
Oh, I.
You don't need this what.
When you say my Jesus Christ, I got a long time here.
One. Travel destination. Where would you want to go that you haven't gone?
I have been there, but I have not had a chance to really explore that city. So I would love to go to Lisbon. Ooh,
in Portugal, yeah. Nice.
I have to go back to Lisbon. I was there with the ship, but I was too busy to go ashore.
Favorite meal?
Ugali, kachumbari, na nyama choma. Hey, people. Hey. Even my family knows.
Okay. Hey. You're so old school. You're such an old soul.
Yo, please.
Ugali, kachumbari, na nyama choma.
Nakapiripiri. Nasukuma meme karango vizuri. Bas. I was surprised mambo mengi.
Old school.
Yes.
Yewe tosha.
Ile njugunas.
Ukula mtura.
Eish. Kwani nyinyi mnadhania nini?
Niliona kwa WhatsApp story ya Edu, our producer. Mtura ingine hapo hivyo na mbese.
Unajua, I don't look at those things when I'm at sea because my heart just breaks.
Niliona alafu alafu msana ameweka kwa WhatsApp story mtura na ugali hivi kubwa. Safi mzuri. Hiyo si poa.
Usiole mse.
Anyway, are you dating?
I really like to. I really like to keep my private life private.
Who's your kind of man?
But I would say that I am seeing someone.
You're seeing someone. This is an exclusive, yeah?
That's all.
That's all. So who's your kind?
Oh God, I can't believe I said that.
Yeah, who's your kind of man?
My kind of man?
Yeah. See the ear like. What about him makes you smile, right? Let's talk about him.
Let's not talk about him.
Let's talk about him.
No.
What about him makes you smile? We're not mentioning.
Look at me just laughing, giggling like a mad woman.
What about him?
He just understands
We'll send
me.
him this clip. At least it's
That you will send him. I'm not telling
I'll
you
send you
anything.
I'll send you to
I
send
am
him.
keeping my
See,
private
listen.
life private.
Tutakata your place. Yeah, what you like about him. Then send it to him. How cool is that? You should send some.
Anajua, sorry namwambia kwa nini angalia
So,
sikia kwa
tell me, what about him? What about him makes you smile?
I'm not having this conversation.
Okay, so
I want to keep that part of myself private. That for me is.
Don't you smile, Joe?
Hamna maana by the way.
Hatuna maana. Tuko na maana.
Mko najua tu hiyo itakuja.
Itakuja.
We have waited for so long.
Anyway, so one last question. I don't want you to sound so cliche as usual in most cases. What is one strong word that you give to a woman out there? Because I'm pretty sure, because totally you're so inspirational, yeah? So what is that one word that you give to a woman out there who wants to get into maritime?
One word?
Yeah.
One word?
One word, okay. Anything. Let me not limit you. To any woman who wants to be in maritime.
Not even in maritime, just
anything.
out there.
Yeah.
Just believe in yourself.
Believe
in yourself, your dream.
Yeah.
You'll be unstoppable.
Nice. Are you a believer?
Yes.
You believe in God?
Yes.
It's amazing.
God has been faithful in my life.
Hallelujah.
Stick shame on you. Oh, yeah.
That's super amazing. So, that was Liz Marami. Thank you, Liz, for passing by. You're so inspirational. You're very amazing. And you're very beautiful.
That's right. Wait. Asante sana. Silifani brush.
What?
Silifani brush.
Brush. Thank you so much. So stay tuned for the next episode of Wilkins Diary. So anything you wanna say? Just anything.
Anything I wanna say? I'm just grateful. Like I get these chances to speak about my life. I don't take it for granted. I'm grateful to be out here and let's just be kind human beings.
Are you inviting us to Mombasa?
You're welcome to Mombasa.
Can we host this podcast in one of
the ships?
The ships.
Okay, that's going to take so much protocol and approvals.
But we can organize it.
We'll see.
We can organize.
We'll organize one day.
We'll organize
yes.
All right.
One fine day.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.